Welcome back, everyone. We are going to be going over some George articles. Make sure to subscribe to Cryptos R Us for your daily news. I'm going to be going over important price action news that's very, very critical and important. First article, by the way, guys, welcome back. Had a long weekend. We have 4th of July. In America, it's a holiday. Thank you guys for celebrating this, or thank you guys for your service, whatever significance 4th of July presents. A lot of significance in America. I just want to throw that out there. Everyone hope you had a great weekend, but time to get back into crypto. And we're going to be talking about Wyoming legalizing first DAO in the United States. Decentralized exchanges or decentralized sort of assets is what this is. So Wyoming is the leading digital asset jurisdiction in the USA. And now with this DAO law, Wyoming is arguably the top blockchain jurisdiction in the world. Okay, this is actually fairly large news. What this means is that this is creating a true digital currency with mass acceptance is now impossible or possible. Basically, Wyoming passed this law. It's a pretty big breach in the whole crypto adoption scene that Wyoming was able to pass this. They can now start accepting a lot of things through Wyoming, but this still might not even have that large of an effect on Bitcoin's price. As you guys can see, the total views on this article is only 11,000, right? Not that much views have happened on this article, but it is something that is some sort of significance. We've been talking a lot about also Bitcoin ATMs, and I will let you guys know something, okay? Bitcoin ATMs, I'm not buying them. I'm not using them until we have stellar ATMs or we have ATMs with little to no fees. There's some ATMs that charge 30% fees. The average mean percent on fees is around 10 to 15%. If you guys use some other form of transfer, that's normally what you're looking like to pay fees for these assets when you're transferring them from country to country. But Bitcoin ATMs, guys, wait till they come out with Stellar ATMs. Wait till they come out with Ripple ATMs. We'll see these fees go down quite a lot, and it will be a lot better than using, normal transfer from country to country. If you have family, let's say you're in, India, and you have family in a different country and you want to transfer them money. Normally you're looking at Western Union, right? 10 to 15%, whatever it might be. When we do have some things that are a lot less than that fee and are a lot faster, aka Ripple or XLM, and those ATMs come out, I'm going to be looking at those. Those would be a very, very good solution. As of right now, it's kind of the same thing as you're seeing here. But besides the point, pretty interesting to see how some of them are able to charge around 30% fees on these ATMs. The mean average, I would say, is around 10 to 15%. But yeah, that's really all for the news, right? We're going to get into some price predictions, some regulation, okay? Some regulation just came into play, right? Regulation stamp, we saw that come into play. Let's get into the charts, okay? What did we see this weekend, all right? This weekend, we saw, the average price manipulation that these whales end up doing. They always do it, right? On the weekends, they're allowed to do it because they have low volatility, extremely easy for them to manipulate price. We are seeing, right, some sort of pattern forming. We're just going to talk about this real quick. Chart patterns, what the hell? What are you talking about chart patterns for? I'm just going to go over this little pattern. It's called let me type it in to show you guys what it is. Sorry, always prepared here on stream. But this is what I kind of see happening right now. We have a bullish Gartley pattern that is somewhat forming. We have the higher high, the neckline, the higher low, and then we have this fourth where we break through, we retest, and then we'll either break down or have a breakout to the upside. I do see this happening with Bitcoin, as this would make more sense to get a lot of liquidity from this move that we currently see right here. We are seeing some RSI and CCI, which is trend reversal here on the 4-hour with this candle right here. I would expect possibly another dip to around this 32,400 level or around to this 3,100 level. If we do see price fall into this area, we know that we have a lot of buying power in this area. This is why I have this circled off in this area. I have this zone right here boxed in, because what do we see when we get down into these lower areas? We see the buying pressure. We see people buy when we do get down into these zones. Yes, I do expect price to go lower in the long term, but yet we haven't been able to break these zones that we currently see right here. We have been seeing price bounce time and time and time again out of these zones. These are great buying zones for the short term, and my sentiment short term is a little bit bullish with a little bearish price move to the downside. It is Monday, right? Banks are not open today, so we kind of have to proceed today with caution. Not everyone is in the market. We still see extremely low volume as of a Monday because we don't have everyone participating. We have a holiday today, so I think Tuesday we'll be able to gauge a better perspective on the market, but you can still expect some major movements as of today. So with that being said, that's my downside prediction. We're going to be looking through a few other indicators to really gauge a better perspective. We do see we are low on many indicators on the 4-hour. We do see some sort of M pattern, or the bullish Gartley pattern kind of forming. You guys could call the M pattern whatever you want. But yes, I do see that somewhat having an effect on us possibly breaking below this neckline and then having a retest or a breakout off that neckline. This will be a very, very important pivotal point that we see here at 32K. And we need to understand that why was I shorting at these pivotal points up here, okay? We have pivotal points. This is where we see price action come off of very, very violently. We'll have price go up. We'll have price go down off of these key points in the charts. And this is how I've been playing. Okay, this is how I've been trading. This is what I've been doing, is I've been waiting for these key significant moments on the longer term time frames of these charts. We'll look at the 4-hour, right? What do we see on the 4-hour? Well, we see that we have some key zones that we can't break out of. We can't, we can't push out of. We are in a downtrend, and these key points that we're currently looking at right now is around this 35,500 level. We've talked about this many times in the past. It's hard for us to break above this. We have this 36K level, and then we have this 36,500 level that is very, very hard for us to break out of. We've been watching these points for multiple weeks. They'll send us up in momentum. You guys see how we'll have the push, right? We'll have a push, we'll have a push, we'll have another push. We can't break above this 35,500 level, and then they'll send us down. There's not enough momentum to really break us out of this zone. And these are the moments in the graph where you guys should be looking at getting into trades, right? You want to be getting into trades where when they send us down, right? They send us down into these zones, which is the 31K to the 30K to the 28-ish K is where they can't send us below. These are our supports long term, and these are our resistances long term. Until they break us out of this zone on the long term time frame, right? We're going to be stuck in here, and we're going to see price violently move off these pivotal points. And you have to make sure to be trading off of these key zones, or to be buying or selling off these key zones, because if you're not, you're going to be missing out on opportunity, as the charts are pointing towards us having some significant breakout or breakdown off of these key zones. And we see volume at these zones slow down. We couldn't break out of it. You guys see how volume slows down here? We go to this zone right here. What happened with volume? We saw volume slow down here. We couldn't get that push that we saw here, and same thing goes with this push to the upside. We couldn't have the same volume, so we broke down off of it. Our key zones of resistance are, we'll write this down, 3,500. We have this is just as of right now, right? But we've been seeing these zones happen quite often. We have this 35,500, we have this 36,000, and then we have this 36,500. Okay, these are the key zones that we see in the charts for the resistance, okay? And until we break above these zones, right, these are the 4 main resistances that we're seeing. And until we break above them, we haven't really been seeing any significant price action. You guys see how we broke above this. We made it all the way here to the 38K zone. We broke above this 36,500 zone right here. Boom, push to the upside, right? We weren't able to see that directly correlate here. We couldn't get that large momentum push to the upside. We've talked about that. So these are the zones that you guys are going to be playing off of for the resistance, okay? If we do break out of this 36,500 zone, expect a push to the upside. And I do expect price to go to these higher levels, probably around 38, 39, 40K in the midterm. But as of right now, it's going to take a little bit of momentum. It's going to take some of these indicators to really point to that direction. And then we might be talking about some higher numbers, right? But why was I entering these trades on the downside at these levels? Because we've broken down time again off these zones. We didn't have enough momentum to push us through. The volume was not pointing there. The oscillators were not pointing there. And this is why I was entering in these shorts around these key resistance areas. And what about the support areas? Where am I looking to put in some buy orders at? All right, so well, we see that we break across this 31K zone, right? Every time we've been touching this 31K zone, we have broken above. This zone right here that I have boxed off, I'm going to color coordinate it for you guys. All right, go boom. All right. So this is where people are selling, okay? This is the sell zone. We see people sell here. This is called the demand zone. I mean, this is called the supply zone, excuse me. This is where people are selling. We have this zone, right, to this 36,500 zone, right? We'll move this up a little bit. We have the 36,500 zone. In the longer time frame, this is where people are selling, okay? And this is where people are buying down here at this 28K, 29.8K zone, all the way up to this 31 to 32-ish zone is where people are buying at, right? I'm looking to short up in these levels. I'm looking to get into some trades down here. I'm going to be looking into these smaller time frames to really signify, yes, I want to get into a trade down here. This is how I'm looking at the graph. And you have to understand today is Monday, okay? US banks aren't open. We have a lot of people that are not in trading right now. Trading volumes down. So today is kind of just a day where you're going to sit back, watch the markets if you guys are not already currently in a trade from at the top of these zones. And if you're not in a trade, right, just sit back, be patient, wait for these opportunities to come. And this is what I'm seeing on this midterm, I guess you could say time frame, the next week or so. I guess that's still short term. But yes, I do see us probably coming down, retesting this neckline. This neckline is very, very important right here. Exactly where we are at right here at this 32,800 zone. If we come down here and we break down below it, expect a retest at this zone and then a breakdown into this zone down here at this 31K zone. But I do not think they have enough momentum to push price lower than what we're currently at right now. They still need to send price a little bit higher here and trap some more liquidity up in these top zones. They still have liquidity, right? They, okay, who's they? People who have been placing large orders, they will be able to bring liquidity back up to this 39, this 40K zones. They do have some liquidity that they still have to tap into that are up in these zones. If they do not bring liquidity or they not bring the price up to those zones, expect them to, okay? Expect them to. If they don't, they don't. But more often than not, they will bring liquidity up into these zones, which is a move that you guys could be benefiting off of quite a lot. This is why we have these buy orders here at this 36,500 zone if we do break above it, because they're most likely going to be able to tap into these zones because we don't have much room between these resistance and supports. A lot of vector candles that they can recover in these zones. But this is what I'm seeing midterm. We're going to throw on some more indicators, bust out a new chart so you guys can see this a little bit better. All right, so here we go. What am I looking at as well? So we're going into right now, okay? We're on the 1 hour chart right here. We are showing that we are fairly high on all of our indicators right now. We could see a little breakdown here incur in the next few moments. We are getting quite high on the oscillators as of right now, right? This multiple oscillator is showing that we are reaching some sort of high point where we could break down off of with the RSI is coming up. We do have money flow as well coming up, which could point to us either reaching some sort of level. Let's see where 67 might be at. We do have some of this. Let's see where we have a resistance level as well. I would say we could have a possible recovery of half of this candle as we do have some sort of resistance level around this 34K. If we can't break out of this 34K zone here on the 1 hour, if we can't have a candle close above this area right here, I am looking for some sort of breakdown as we do have some sort of resistance here at the 34,100 area. But I am expecting us to have some upside push, recover at least half of this candle, and then really decide where we're going to go with this market today. But you need to make sure to be looking at the longer time frames. We are showing on the longer time frames we are extremely low as of where we are right now. We need to see some upside. We're bound to see some upside after we have this monster push down. Same thing goes with this monster push up, right? We saw the retracement down to the downside. We could be sitting along this zone right here, guys. Look at how perfectly we bounce off these support levels. This was the support. I didn't draw this before. This was just part of an indicator called the next support and the resistance. It takes historical supports and resistances, puts them on the chart. And what did we see right now? We bounced exactly off this. We didn't have enough momentum to break through this support level. We bounced right off of it, but expect us to come back up to this 34,100 level and then make our move of whether we're going to break through this 3,300 level here in the next day or so, or if we're going to bust above. Tomorrow is going to be a completely different day because we do have more money that's going to be trading into the markets. Does not mean that there still can't be a lot of violent volatility today, but it just means that we'll have a better sentiment on what's going to happen tomorrow. But yes, we are looking for some sort of move. As of right now, would not be looking to enter trade, just be looking at the market and what it's currently doing. We are far away from this 50 EMA as of right now. I would feel a lot more comfortable if we came back up, we touch this 50 EMA or this 20 EMA, and then we break down or break above it. Okay, we always see that we will come back, kind of retrace towards these EMA levels that we see right here, and then finally make our move. But on the longer time frame, we are looking a little bit bullish, right? Which is something where when you have a push this low, that, you know, there's going to be some upside. We can't go down forever. We can't go up forever. And that's just how things work. All right, so here's the other long-term prediction, right? We are in the Keltner bands right now. We are significantly low. I do expect these EMA levels to drop for us to retest, kind of the same sort of sentiment that we were just talking about before, but things are looking a little bit bullish short-term, but then we'll really get the deciding factor here in the next few seconds. We do see that volume as of right now is looking like we are in this deadlock zone where we don't have too much volume buying or selling at this 34K zone. This is a pivotal point, right? You guys see how we have volume right here, right? It's extremely low. We have high volume to the upside, high volume to the downside, right? This is the zone where we will see price action happen in. It's just a matter of when will this happen, right? We know that we have violent movement to the upside. We have violent movement to the downside in all of these zones, okay? Except for this 34K to around this 3,300 zone to this 34K zone. So this $200 range that we are currently in right now, we have very low volatility. We're waiting for a move in this zone to really see where the market's heading towards today. But yeah, with that being said, we do have a lot of these indicators that are pointing towards us being a little bit bearish in the midterm, right? Short term, going to be a little bit bullish, maybe test that zone, but I wouldn't really depend on indicators. I would depend on this 34K zone that we see right here. Whatever move we make off of this, depending on how much momentum that we have, will decide our fate, okay? We'll decide our fate. MACD is looking bearish on the long term. We do see a lot of these RSI indicators as well showing some sort of short-term bearishness as well. But yeah, want to see this zone get touched. If we can't touch the zone and we stay inside of this volume band, expect us to come down here to those lower levels. We'll get into the lower levels right now. What should we expect if they just send price down violently to the bottom? All right, what should we expect? All right, let me change this off. Let me turn this off. I'll just do this naked with no indicators right now, just so you guys can get a better idea. Trying to organize this a little bit better. Let me actually go on to a different one. All right. So what am I looking for? Okay, so, well, we've seen that. I'm just going to throw this one up. Oops, next. There we go, boom. All right. It's getting a little hot in here. I forgot to turn on the AC, so if I'm talking a little bit fast, don't worry about me, okay? Turn this off. Inputs. I'm just gonna turn this indicator off entirely. Just turn them all off and just put next resistance and support on. All right, so what are we looking at right here? We're looking at for the other pivotal points and where we could see price go. We see this 34K zone. That's very, very pivotal in where price will currently go, right? We do have this neckline. What is a neckline? It is the sudden move, right? The move that we're looking for, which is that bullish Gartley pattern. We're looking for price to get around this zone to really show us where we're going if it is the downside. Right? If we do break out of this zone, we know that this is not possible. This is not the pattern that's going to happen. And this would also be a good zone or indicator that we're going to recover some of these candles that we see right here. But we're just in the middle of this trend right now. We're in the middle of this breakdown. Price does have to come up at some points, right? But we have to make sure, have some confirmation before we're really looking into what to do with our money or what to do with our investments right now. So I would really make sure to understand that we do have some supports, right? We talked about our resistance levels up there. We have some support levels here at this 32K, but this is the neckline right here. This is where if we break down from this level, we know that we're going to see price at least fall to this 31,500 level. This is a large support that we see here around this 35,100 level. And 31,500 level is our next support. We'll go draw that down there. Expect price to fall if we do break through this neckline right here to this level. And then we have this other level right here, which is this 30K level. People are buying down here. We do see a lot of action on the buying upside of things at these levels. So make sure that if you guys are looking for some upside possibility in the short to midterm, that these levels are some great levels to be buying into. But you need to make sure to be looking at the consensus on the short term before really making that confirmation to send your money into it. But not financial advice here, but I really am looking forward to seeing price dip to these levels, then seeing a nice bounce back again. We do have to worry about the levels that are beneath us, though. We do have this 25 to this 24K level that is definitely in play if we break through this 28K level. Right, we do have a somewhat of a resistance around this 27K as well, but I would really be looking for around this 25 to this 24K resistance to be looking at some good upside from that position there. But we need to make sure that we don't have much support, guys. We don't have much support in these levels right here. I do expect Bitcoin to be able to break through these levels on the long-term side of things. This is the next few months, right? Why would they want to bring price that low? Why would institutions want to buy Bitcoin at 30K, 28, 27, 26K when they know that there's not much support for them to break through to get to these 20K levels, to get to this 14, 15K level even? This is really the only support and resistance that we have down here, which is around this 20K to around this 17K area to around this 15, 16K area. This is the real support that we have. This is still volatile movement that they could easily overcome and take. But we are just chilling in this zone that we currently see right now. We're having these volatile movements. It's been great volume, great time to, be patient, wait for these high volatility pivotal point moves in the charts and make some plays off of them. But we know that we still have the opportunity to break down through this terrible weak support that we have down here and enter into these other levels. It won't take weeks for us to enter these levels. It will take months. Okay, they don't push price down fast when we're into a bear market. They bleed it out because that's how you could gain the most money. So when I do talk about that, don't be too scared. Don't be worrying too much about them sending price down to 19K tomorrow or next week or the next few weeks. They will do it over the course of months because they can. We've looked at the on-chain data. That's what it's supporting. But as of right now, just talking about the short term, and just keep that in the back of your minds of that's what the levels are for the long-term buying. I'm looking to long-term holds and get into those good positions around that 20K to around that 14, 16K level. And that is completely possible if you think 3 to 4 months from now, those levels could easily be reached. Something for you guys to really, emphasize. 23K, I see you in the chat, is the next stop. It's not coming, okay? It's not coming for a while. We have to make sure to play this week by week, day by day, to try and find out what the charts are going to be pointing towards in that area. And we see that right now, we do have some upside possibilities. I don't see us breaking below this 30K or this 28K anytime soon. I see them making another move up to this 36, 35, or 36, 37, 38K within the next week or so. It's just a matter of when. They do have liquidity trapped up there and they're just waiting to make their move. But as of right now, we talked about how we are trapped in this 37 or this 34 to this 38 or 34 to this 33,800 zone, and they're waiting to make their move off that in the shorter term. But it's important to realize that they still have the price. They still have to really show where price is going to go. We talked about the main resistances, we talked about the main supports, and you guys have to be playing off those if you want to stay consistent, you want to stay profitable. Until we break these main support levels, they are not showing that they're going to be sending price any lower. Okay, expect them to send price to 40K or to 38K within the next few weeks if they do not break us out of these zones. And that's just something that you need to keep in the back of your mind, right? That's if we have enough momentum, if we have enough, enough push in the market, they could send us to these zones. And, we're not bearish. We're not bullish on this channel. We're completely neutral. We look at the charts and we make the best decisions we can off of what the sentiment is in the market, off of what the charts are showing, and then we play off of that, right? We still are in this uptrend. We still could see this push up here to this 38K in this channel, but I'm not too bullish on this channel. I don't really think that this channel is something to really base a lot of things off of. I'll throw on an RMR, mean regression, or repeated mean regression channel. This is what this is currently showing, that we're somewhat nearing the bottom of this trend, which is around this 32K zone, which we do have some support around, but I do see us breaking down below it, maybe coming down to this 31K if we do break down, but we still are in the middle of this channel. We're in an uptrend right now. We're in a micro uptrend, but we're in a macro downtrend on the daily, right? So important to understand that we just don't break down within a day or within a week. We don't hit the 25K level. We're going to see this price bleed out. We're going to see them touch the 25K in the next like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then they're going to bounce it back up. But we won't bleed out as fast as some of you guys think we will. It's just incredibly important to stay patient, to stay with the right mindsets of just being completely neutral, trying to make the best opportunities off of what the charts are showing you. And that is going to be the end of this episode. I will be streaming later today. I might be streaming another 2 times today, going over some coins to be looking at, just giving you guys an update on what's happening in the market currently today, what we saw over the weekend. And make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Going to be a lot more active. Had a busy weekend. I will be more active. I can promise you that. A lot of things to look forward to in the future. Had a great weekend, right? Had a great weekend. Hope you guys had a great time trading, had a great time just enjoying yourself or whatever it might have been.